So does that justify everything that you do?
Excuse me, let me tell you something. What do you think they were doing it for? Because they were trying to save us from poverty? No, they did it because they needed us. It's honor and family and loyalty. And some of us wanted a piece of the action. Now, we weren't educated like the Americans, but we had the balls to take what we wanted.
Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another live edition of On the Go right here on Driving to the Top Productions. I'm your host, Big Hoss, and I'm going to try and bring the sauce if my motherfucking shit want to cooperate, because it's rained 3 goddamn straight days here, and I can't catch a motherfucking break with my internet. So if I'm skipping and shuffling, I apologize in advance. It ain't my fault. But what's up, everybody? I hope you guys are enjoying your lovely Wednesday. It is December 3rd, 2025. The holiday season is here. Christmas time is here. Everyone's favorite time of the year. Including yours truly, a favorite of mine. Who don't love Christmas, by the way? Well, you know what to do. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You could find me on X at BigHouse337. You could follow this show on the go at _TXLA on Facebook and Instagram, or X and Instagram, I'm sorry. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, Driving to the Top Productions, you can find them as well. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. And we're going to see what happens tonight. If the internet wants to cooperate with me, I feel like it ain't right now. Well, I'm going to try and stay positive because, man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So let's not waste any time. Let's kick this off in H-Town. Let's kick it off in the 713. Y'all ready? I sure as hell am. Let's go. Welcome to the land where it just don't stop. Trunks pop, tops drops, and a front end hop. Also, I forgot to mention, because, you know, I'm worried about this internet situation. This show is presented by, of course, Rogue Energy, the official gaming drink of On the Go, and presented by Poggers, the official vitamin supplement of On the Go. Pick your poison, whether you go to rogueenergy.com or download that app on any mobile device or go to poggers.shop. There it is right there. OTG to get 10% off of your order for either one you choose from. But let's start off. Let's start with one that got me that shocked me the most, folks. The Houston Texans got a big win over the number one team in the AFC. I kind of saw this coming, but I didn't know how this was going to go. This one worried me a lot, but hey, I was proud of this team. They got it done. They're not done yet. They're trying to find a way to get in the playoffs. Even if they don't clinch the division, I think they can still find a way. I'd be shocked if they clinch the division. Texans win 20-16 over the Indianapolis Colts. Texans now move to 7-5 of the season. Let's recap this game real quick. 364 total yards, 256 passing, 108 rushing. CJ Stroud, 22 for 35, 276 passing yards. He did throw one interception. All the touchdowns came from rushing. Woody Marks led in rushing in this game. 19 carries for 64 yards. But Nick Chubb had a rushing touchdown. 9 carries for 34 yards. And even Nico Collins, he does play wide receiver, but he did have a rushing touchdown for 7 yards. He also, in receiving, had 5 catches for 98 yards. He did lead in receiving in that one. Jaden Higgins had 5 catches for 65 yards. Dalton Schultz had 7 catches for 55 yards. The defense, 59 total tackles, 27 solo, 1 sack courtesy of Sheldon Rankins. Tackles for a loss, Magic number. Five tackles for a loss. You know the drill in this show. I'm going to play that anytime you hear that magic number. But hey, this defense gets better and better. I love watching this defense. Yeah, I mean, the offense is picking up a little bit, but I feel like the reason this team keeps winning is because of that defense. And what's next for the Houston Texans? They're going prime time. Sunday Night Football. They hit the road. They go to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, the referees, the Swifties, Andy Reid's Waffle House menu play caller, the Kansas City Chiefs, which they've been struggling lately. I feel like they're not a playoff contender team anymore, especially after losing to the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Hell, both Super Bowl last year were taken by the Dallas Cowboys, which we'll be talking about that more in a bit. Has the Chiefs fallen so far in this 2025? I mean, they could go either way. The Texans can add them another loss and definitely keep them out of that playoff hunt, or can they bounce back? Because currently, right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are 6-6. This is the worst they've been since they started this dynasty. Yeah, they've won. Yeah, in their last 4 games, they've lost 3 out of those last 4, losing to the Bills, the Broncos, and the Cowboys. They got lucky with the Colts in overtime a couple weeks back. But looking at their remaining schedule, I mean, they got the Texans this Sunday. Then they got the Chargers. Then they got the Titans. Then they got the Broncos on Christmas Day. And they close out with the Raiders. To be honest with you, I could potentially see 3 more losses coming to this Chiefs team. Because let me go off a limb and saying the way the Texans defense has been playing, I got the Houston Texans winning this game. On the road in Kansas City, it's going to be a close one. I wouldn't be shocked if this goes into overtime. We have another Sunday Night Football game in overtime. To be honest with you, I'm going to say it's going to be this game was 20-16. I could see this being like 21-17 or 21-14. It's going to be a close game, but I'm going to take the Houston Texans to win this one. And this could potentially knock the Kansas City Chiefs out of the playoff talk. I don't know what the magic number is for them, how many more games they need to lose to not even make the wild card. Because the way that division's looking for the AFC West, the Broncos are on top big. Broncos, I think, got this locked in. It's like Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. The Raiders are already out of the playoff picture. Chiefs could be next in that division. No telling. But I'm sticking with those Houston Texans. They almost doubted me wrong against the Colts, but hey, I was so glad they pulled it off. But moving on to some more Town talk. Let's just jump basketball real quick since I got it right here. Let's go ahead and light the fuse and talk some Houston Rockets basketball. I know after last show, they didn't play that many games. Last I checked, they've only had 2 games the last time we talked on this show. But I'm pulling it back up because they had back-to-back games with the Utah Jazz. So yeah, after Royal Wednesday's show, they had back-to-back games with the Jazz in Utah. On Sunday, November 30th, they got the win, 129-101, where Şengün led in that game with 27 points, 10 for 15 in field goals, 7 for 9 in free throw shooting. Steven Adams led in rebounds with 12, plus he had 13 points. Amen Thompson led in assists with 9, plus he had 3 turnovers. Kevin Durant had 25 points in that game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, and 3 steals. Now, the following night, they had back-to-back games with the Utah Jazz. When was the last time they've ever done something like that in regular season? If it wasn't a postseason matchup. But They won the first meeting, and then the following night they fell in the second game, 133-125. In that one, KD led in points with 32. He went 10 for 25 in field goals and 10 for 12 in free throw shooting. He also led in rebounds with 9. Shangun led in assists with 14. He also had 3 turnovers in that game, plus 31 points and 14 assists. Amin Thompson had 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists against the Jazz. Currently, right now, they're playing the Sacramento Kings, and they got about 2 minutes and 14 seconds left, and they're winning 116-94 against the Kings. What's next for the Rockets? Friday night, they're hosting the Phoenix Suns. Saturday, December 6th, they go I-45 up north to Dallas to play the Mavericks. That's all they got until next week's episode, so they'll just have 2 more games we're going to cover. But just to get the Rockets talk going, let's see some current stat leaders while we at it. Kevin Durant leads this season in points. He's averaging 25.1 points per game. Leading in rebounds is Steven Adams, averaging 9.4 rebounds per game. Shangun leads in assists so far this season, averaging 7.3 assists per game. Reed Shepherd leads in steals this season, averaging 1.7 steals per game, and Shangun leads in blocks, averaging 1.1 block per game. So that's your current leaders right now. The Rockets are hot. One of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, and could be a potential favorite. They're now the number 3 team in the Western Conference, where overall they're the 4th seed overall in the NBA. It's like the top 5. You can't stop the Thunder. Thunder's just too damn good. 21-1, and we're in December. It's been nearly almost 2 months, and the Thunder only has 1 loss. Then you got the Pistons at the 2 seed, the Lakers are the 3 seed, Rockets are the 4th seed, and the 5th seed. You talk about a surprising comeback with Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. That's your top 5 in the league right now. But now we got 1:55 to go. Rockets lead 118-95. I feel like they're going to drag these last 2 minutes for me to get a final score result and even look at some leaders in this game. But we'll continue on. Somewhere down here, I'll still be in this H-Town talk when I get an update on the Houston Rockets. By the way, I'm going to put that game on. So give me a sec. Just watching Auburn and NC State. Will Wade. Well, it's only the first half. They still got a whole half to play. All right, so I got it on. I'll check that out. We'll go ahead and move on. I'll get a Rockets update later. This might be the first time, might be the only time on this show. I can't go without talking about these guys. I'll go ahead and do a little quick Red Alert talk. Since that tournament they did in Vegas, we haven't had any Houston Cougar basketball within a week. It's been a week since they had a game, and they're not going to play again until Saturday against Florida State. And it's going to be a neutral site matchup, which, I mean, it's in Houston, but they're playing at Toyota Center. The Houston Hoops Showdown. So they're currently 7-1. Their only loss was against Tennessee a week ago. They did bounce back in a bonus game in that tournament against Notre Dame. Remember, we talked about that last show. They got Florida State next, and that's the only game they're going to have until next week's show. And then Jackson State the next time I'm on the air, which is going to be December 10th. Oh, I guess we'll look at some stats real quick. Oh, the game's almost over. 27 seconds to run on that clock. I'll go ahead and give you some team leaders for the Houston Cougars right now. Leading in points, Emmanuel Sharp. He's averaging 16.4 points per game this season. Leading in rebounds, Chris Sanock Jr., averaging 7.8 rebounds per game. Kingston Flemings leads in assists, averaging 5 assists per game. Isaiah Hartwell leads in steals this season, averaging 1.7 steals per game. And Joseph Tugler leads in blocks, averaging 2.5 blocks per game so far this season. That matchup with Florida State's going to be a good one. 5-3 versus 7-1. Big 12 versus ACC. But Houston's a heavy favorite. And what a bigger site to do it than at Toyota, the home of this team, the Houston Rockets, which, by the way, game just ended. The Rockets get the win over the Sacramento Kings. 121-95 was your final. Let's go ahead and look at some lead. Let's see what we got here. Shangoon led in points in this game. 28 points, 11 for 20 in field goals, 6 for 7 in free throw shooting. Amin Thompson led in rebounds with 12. KD led in assists with 8. Let's see how many numbers they also had. Kevin Durant had 24 points in that game, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. Jabari Smith had 14 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. It says Shangoon had 28 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Amin Thompson had 20 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. They look good tonight. Reed Shepherd, he only had 5 points. Adams had 11. They look good tonight. Well, they got the win, so now they improved to now? They improved to 14-5. The Rockets. So hell yeah. Keep it up. Speaking of Houston, we'll keep the Houston Cougar talk. Let's go talk about the Houston Cougars football team. They got their final win in the regular season in this quote-unquote rivalry that's sort of building up. They got the win 31-24 over the Baylor Bears. So now they wrap up the regular season with an overall record of 9-3 with a 6-3 Big 12 record. Unfortunately, they will not make the Big 12 championship, but they are bowl eligible. So the next time we're going to see them on the field, probably be at the end of the month. They're probably going to announce bowl games after they crown conference champions and get the official 12 teams that make the college football playoffs. But in this game against Baylor, 417 total yards, 201 passing, 216 rushing. Connor Wegman, 21 for 31, 201 passing. He did throw a 1 touchdown pass to Amir Thomas for 27 yards, but he threw an interception. He also led in rushing, 22 carries for 121 total rushing yards, and he had 2 rushing touchdowns. That's our QB. DJ Butler had 10 carries for 53 yards. Dean Connors had 14 carries for 51 yards. Amir Thomas led in receiving. He had 9 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown. And Tanner Gazoyle had 7 receptions for 59 yards. Defense alone, 45 total tackles, 45 solo, 1 sack courtesy of Brandon Mack, 3 tackles for a loss, and a pick. So they finished the regular season strong. I think this is their 3rd season in the Big 12. They made an impact, despite how the last couple of years have been. So keep it up, and we're just going to be sitting here waiting to see where they're going to be going bowling at and against who. You never know who they're going to have with these days. But I'm proud of how this team finished strong. 9-3 is not a bad record. They were above 500. They're bowl eligible. If they should have won, they should have beat some of them teams. They could have been in that Big 12 championship game. But that's all the H-Town talk I got. And we're just getting started. Now, let's go to my side. Y'all ready? Let's go to the 3-3-7. Let's go. While we do the 3-3-7 talk, we'll start with the McNeese Cowboys, even though football is in the rearview mirror. The only McNeese you're going to be hearing from now on is McNeese basketball, so this is what I like to call the Bayou Bandit duel when we talk about McNeese basketball. Since last show, they've only played 1 game. They got done playing in the Cayman Islands, and they came back to Townsley Law to play their first conference game of the season, and this was a tight one. I didn't get to watch it. I didn't get to attend it, but their first game back home after dominating the Cayman Islands, they fell to Incarnate Word 71-67 in a tight one. They now dropped to 6-2 of the season, but they're 0-1 in the Southland Conference. Not the way they wanted to start, but I know things are going to get better. I mean, they just had in the Cayman Islands. But I know they're going to pick back up. Here's some numbers in this game. Gardway Duel led in points with 18. He also led in rebounds with 4. He also had 4 turnovers and 1 assist in that game. Javon Garcia had 13 points, and DJ Richards had 12 points in that one. What's next for the Pokes? Well, this Friday they're back at home in another conference game. They're welcoming in a roll rival. They're welcoming in the Northwestern State Demons, who are 1-6. They're just like their football team. They're not too good right now. So I feel like this will be a bounce back win for the Pokes. And also, they're going to be on the road. Tough road game Tuesday. This coming Tuesday on December 9th, they go to Rhode Island. Take on them until next show. So at least we'll have a couple more Magnies basketball to talk about. But yeah, one game back after being in the Cayman Islands. Yeah, it was pretty rough, but they'll bounce back and get the win there. So, okay, I got a comment coming in, but I'm going to pop it up when I get in the 225 talk. Got an LSU fan in the comments. That when we get to the 225. But other than that, let's go ahead and talk some Raging, because the Raging Cajuns, they shocked everybody too. They got a big win over their rivals, UL Monroe, in overtime. They beat them 30-27. So now the Cajuns finished their 2025 regular season with an overall record of 6-6, 5-3 in the Sun Belt. And they're also going bowling as well with LSU and Tulane, and I think Louisiana Tech is bowl eligible. Oh, Louisiana going to be shining. By the way, I need to get that shit up. Courtesy of Boot Crew Media. Let me pop up and see if they got... Oh, I don't have to zigzag it all over the phone. They probably ain't posted it yet. All right. Yeah, we got it. We got it right here. All right, I got that ready when we get to that segment. All right. Against UL Monroe, let's see. The Cajuns had 338 total yards, 126 passing, 212 rushing. Lunch Winfield, 10 for 21, 82 total passing yards. No touchdowns throw, but he did had 9 carries for 36 yards, but he didn't lead in rushing. Bill Davis did. Walker Howard's back. He went 6 for 9. He had 44 total passing yards. Wow, I said Bill Davis led in rushing, 15 carries for 126 yards and a rushing touchdown. Zylan Perry, 6 carries for 20 yards. Steven Blanco had 2 for 7 with a rushing touchdown. Bill Davis led in receiving, 4 receptions for 33 yards. 70 total tackles, 42 solo, 3 sacks, and 7 tackles for a loss for the Cajuns. Nice to see they finished strong, because I think if they'd have lost that game, they wouldn't be going bowling this season. But near comeback win over their rivals, and now they're going bowling as well. Just like for the Cougs, the clock is ticking. We'll see where they end up. By next episode, I'll have where all our teams I cover, or even teams around the state and whatnot, are going bowling at. But that's all I got for the 337 talk. But man, do I got some shit for y'all in the 225. Y'all ready? Let's take it to Baton Rouge, man. Let's go. 225. Here we come. I got a little bit of everything to talk about here. Do I want to start positive, or do I want to get the bullshit out of the way? Let's just get the bullshit out of the way, because I got a lot of positivity on this team, on this school in general after. Let's just get the elephant out the room. The regular season has officially wrapped up, even bowl eligible, but not the way we wanted to end it. Do I really want to talk about this game, folks? This had to be one of the shittiest LSU games I've ever watched all season. They go to Norman for the first time, and you fall to the freaking Sooners, who they were a top 10 team. You could have beaten these guys, and you fall 17-13.
You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here!
Which this has been a roller coaster season with Brian Kelly, whatever we had left of him, and all them motherfuckers that we got rid of and whatnot. 7-5 overall record of the regular season. 3-5 in the SEC. 198 total yards in this game. 113 passing, okay. 85 total rushing, ain't gonna cover it. If we get any other new coaches, we seriously need a new offensive line coach, maybe an offensive coordinator, which we're going to get that out of the way in a bit. Michael Van Buren Jr., 14 for 25, 96 total passing yards. He did throw one short touchdown pass for a yard to Xavier Thomas, and he had a pick. He also had 5 carries for 33 yards, but Caden Durham led in rushing, 6 carries for 42 yards. Xavier Thomas led in receiving, 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. Defense, 63 total tackles, 29 solos, 6 tackles for a loss, and 3 interceptions. DJ Pickett had a catch. AJ Halsey had 1 return for 42 yards, and Harold Perkins Jr. had 1 for 44 yards. I'm not going to shit talk defense, but I feel like they could have did better. I'm just glad it wasn't a blowout, but shit, man, this was one of the worst games I've ever watched. Hell, even Oklahoma didn't even impress me. But we got one more game left with this circus. They're bowl eligible. They're going bowling. We're also in the seat waiting to find out. As much as I'm enjoying basketball season right now, let me tell you, I am counting down till we officially kick off the Lane Kiffin era. Yeah, that's the biggest elephant in the room. We got the day after this, we picked up Lane Kiffin, and Ole Miss is, oh man, their fans are crying about it. Now y'all know how we felt when we lost Nick Saban to Alabama. I don't recall us flipping him off at the airport because he didn't just leave us to go to Bama. He was in the NFL. We didn't even flip him off going to the Miami Dolphins, but there was a video viral going around of him hopping on a jet to go to Baton Rouge, and all the Ole Miss fans are flipping him off. That's going to be the saddest fucking fan base ever. That's what, and y'all don't, I mean, maybe Lane Kiffin could have took y'all further in the playoffs, but y'all wasn't going to win shit to begin with. How many total national titles y'all got that school? Not a lot. I mean, y'all recent one was the College World Series. Y'all won baseball like, 3 years ago? Mississippi State. Well, who did it first? Mississippi State do it first? I don't even fucking remember. But I think we got some new bad blood in this rivalry, folks. Ole Miss and LSU's been a long time rivalry, but I feel like this might turn the heat up a little more, all because of one coach. And now they're calling him a hoe for coming to Baton Rouge and leaving Oxford. And how fitting is it, this next season they start this whole 3-team, 3 permanent SEC opponents as your 3 main rivals. One of them for us is Ole Miss. And how fitting. We just went to Oxford earlier this year, and they're going back to Oxford next year with Lane Kiffin as our head coach. Man, that College game day better be there for that. I don't care if both teams are winless, which they won't. They have to have game day over there. If you don't go there, might as well let SEC Nation go over there. One of them got to go over there for this fairy tale of a rivalry with Lane Kiffin. And I like the guy. He's a great coach. He comes from a legend. His father was a legendary coach. He was a former quarterback too. I know he played at Fresno State. What else? He's coached all over. He coached at USC. He coached at Tennessee. I think Tennessee was his first head coaching job in college. He also did some NFL. I think he did the Raiders in the NFL. He worked under Nick Saban at Alabama as a quarterback coach, and I think he was also offensive coordinator. He was at Florida Atlantic before he went to Ole Miss. He was at Ole Miss. I think he jumped at Ole Miss in 2019 or 2020. Now he's coming to Baton Rouge for 2026. Hop aboard the Lane Kiffin train, baby. Lane State University. I love them. Everybody been saying LSU's now Lane State. I love it. But hotty toddy, gosh almighty, I get the fans are livid, but hey, y'all could have still hung and had them around. Y'all want to be a bunch of little dipshits and say, oh, well, if you leave and go to LSU, well, then you can't stay and coach them in the playoffs. I'm just glad Tulane didn't take a page out of Ole Miss's book. With all the new coaches they've just gotten recently, I'm just going to jump the gun here. John Summerall, who's Tulane's coach, just took the coaching job at Florida. But Tulane didn't kick him out the door and say, oh, if you're going to go to Gainesville, we don't fucking need you no more. No, they're still got him on the side. They're about to play for a conference championship. At least Tulane got some class. Speaking of that, I mean, I don't know how many new coaches they've hired recently. I'm just going to tell you what I know so far. You know, Lane Kiffin coming to LSU from Ole Miss. John Summerall is going to be going to Florida when he's done with Tulane. What else happened? Alex, am I saying it right? Alex Galesh, the former head coach for South Florida, and he's going to Auburn. Brian Harline, the offensive coordinator from Ohio State's going to go to South Florida. Week 2, not week 2, was it week 4? Ryan Silverfield, who was the head coach at Memphis, beat Arkansas, and now he's going to Fayetteville to coach the Razorbacks. I wonder how they welcome him to Fayetteville after what happened week 5. Will Stetson, the offensive, he was an offensive coordinator for Oregon. He's going to Kentucky, but I bet you he's staying with the Ducks until the season's over with. But I saw Mark Stoops, after 12 seasons, he got fired from Kentucky. Now, Will's taking over his spot. Jamarcus Shepard, the offensive coordinator from Alabama, he took the head coaching job for Oregon State. And Pat Fitzgerald, he's going to Michigan State from Loyola Academy, which I think that's a junior college. That's all I remember. Who's taking Tulane's job? We hadn't even figured that out yet. They were talking about LSU's defensive coordinator, went to an interview for that, which I hope he stays. Somebody threw Coach O's name in there. Hell, let Coach O go to Tulane. I'll be fine with that. That's all the coaching jabber changes I've seen so far. But hey, Lane Kiffin's pulling some strings right now. They had National Signing Day today. They had some players that committed to Ole Miss and decommitted to come to LSU. We've seen some 3-star players from LSU decommitted to go play somewhere else. Hey, Lane Kiffin's going to bring some people in, folks. I didn't really keep up with it. I've been busy all day, but you want to see it, it's on X. It's all over social media if you want to see who LSU picked up on National Signing Day. I ain't going down that list. I will go down this LSU basketball list, though. Let's go ahead and talk the PMAC show. Let's talk some LSU basketball. We'll start with the girls real quick. Drake. LSU girls, Kim Mulkey's Tigers played Drake. I think was it on Black Friday? I'll pull when they played, so I don't get this mixed up. But they got the win over Drake, 71-62. No, that ain't the girls. That's the boys. I'm sorry. Shit, I clicked the wrong fucking game. I guess we'll start with the boys first. LSU boys won over Drake, 71-62. Dean Thomas led in points in that game. He had 18 points and 5 assists. Markel Sutton led in rebounds with 7. Mike Nwako also had 14 points. Max McKinnon had 11. And they also got a win over DePaul. They beat DePaul 96-63. Pablo Tamba had 14 points with 7 rebounds. Jalen Reese had 6 assists and 13 points. So he must have led an assist. Mike Nwako had 13. Max McKinnon had 13. And Dean Thomas had 12 in that game. And just about less than an hour ago, I didn't type it up, but I'm going to pull it up right now. They had the ACC SEC Men's Challenge going on right now. LSU went to Boston College and got the win in overtime, 78-69. So now the LSU boys team is 8-0. Put these guys in the top 25, will you? I mean, that was a big win over Boston College. Don't get me wrong. I don't even have the numbers for this game. All I just know is they beat Boston College. And now they're 8-0. What's next for LSU boys basketball? Till next show, they only got one game. They're hosting Texas Tech. Or are they hosting them, or is this on a neutral site? Oh, no, it's at a neutral site. They're playing Texas Tech in the Coast to Coast Challenge in Fort Worth. Sunday, December 7th, 2 p.m. on ESPN2. Texas Tech is 19th in the country, and they're 6-2, and they're taking on an undefeated LSU team. Hopefully they can pull it off. All right, now Kim Mulkey's Tigers are also undefeated, and they're still the number 5 team in the country. Go back to Black Friday in the Paradise Jam. This was in the Virgin Islands. They beat Maurice 113-53. Just a couple quick numbers. Zakiya Johnson had 19 points. Kate Caval had 10 rebounds plus 17 points. Davine Barrage had 4 assists. Grace Knox, 11 points. Jada Richard had 11 points as well. Amia Joyner had 16 points, and Elijah Fulwiley had 11 points in that game. This one right here, this was against a Pac-12, well, one of the only 2 Pac-12 teams left. They blew this team out. Washington State, they blew them out 112-35.
Damn!
Now puts Kim Mulkey's Tigers at 8-0. Still the number 5 team in the country. Flau'jae Johnson led in that game. 16 points. 6 for 10 in field goals. 1 for 2 in free throw shooting. Amaya Joyner led in rebounds with 12. She also had 12 points. And Elijah Fulwiley had led in assists with 5. Plus she had 12 points. Jada Richard had 14 points. She also had 3 rebounds. Michaela Williams had 12 points and 5 rebounds. Plus, Flau'jae Johnson had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers in that game. And what's next for Kim Mulkey's Tigers? Well, tomorrow night, the women kick off the ACC SEC Women's Challenge, and LSU is going to Cameron Indoor. They're taking on Duke Blue Devils. I mean, when I think of Duke, I think of Duke's men's basketball team. They're 3-5. Kim Mulkey, that should be an easy win for them. Sunday, they go to New Orleans to play the Privateers, who are currently winless right now. That's the only 2 games they got till next show. So, here, I'm going to pop this comment up. This was from at Tiger Mart 880. He said, with all the lane talk coming to my home city and state, and it's much deserved. I know it's early, but we can't overlook my Tigers men's basketball team starting the season off 8-0 after beating Boston College. You're right. Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech is going to be a tricky game for them. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's their first loss of the season, but you never know. Right now, it's pretty even game. Texas Tech is only a favorite by 51%, while LSU is a 48% favorite. Plus, it's going to favor them more because they're playing in Texas. They're playing in Fort Worth. That's a little much. I mean, that's about, you know what? That's probably almost the same. Well, maybe not the same distance, but close. I think Lubbock is about like 6 hours from Fort Worth, where for Baton Rouge, a drive from Baton Rouge, that's about 8 or 9 hours from Baton Rouge. So a little closer for Red Raiders to travel. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of red and black in the crowd, hollering Wreckham instead of purple and gold. But hey, LSU fans can travel too, especially when they win in like this. So Tiger Mart 880, I hope they don't overlook them either, but I think they're going to be fine. I mean, with what they got remaining left in the season, not for the season, I'm sorry, for the month. SMU, that's going to be another competitive matchup. They're also undefeated as well. That won't be till the 13th of December. But LSU's a favorite in that one. 58% say they'll win that one. And then they'll Southeastern, Prairie View A&M, Southern Miss, they can close out those last 3 with W's. But, well, I think they're going to be fine. Real talk. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's go to the Big Easy, shall we? Let's go take it to the 504. Because, man, I feel like one's going to impress me here. The other ones, let's go. All right, now we in the 504, folks. Let's go ahead and do some positive real quick. This is the only positive talk I'm going to have talking in the Big Easy. The Tulane Green Wave close out the regular season with a shutout victory over Charlotte, 27-0. The Green Wave finished the regular season 10 wins, 2 losses. In the American Athletic Conference, they close out 7-1, and they're going back to the American Athletic Conference Championship. They're also hosting it. First time in 2 years. Quick numbers. I'm going to run through this real quick. 463 total yards, 312 passing, 151 total rushing. Jake Retzloff went 28 for 38, 291 total passing yards, but he did throw 2 picks. Jamari McClure led in rushing. He had 11 carries for 69 yards, and Jalvin Gordon had 9 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Brown-Stevens led in receiving. He had 9 catches for 98 yards. And Shaz Preston had 3 catches for 43 yards as well. 52 total tackles for the defense. 52 total tackles for the defense, 36 solo, 3 sacks, and 9 tackles for a loss. And like I said, they're hosting the American Athletic Championship actually this Friday. They're hosting North Texas. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be a hell of a game. Don't count out the Mean Green. North Texas is 11-1 currently right now. This is the 4th overall meeting, and Tulane has never lost to North Texas. I think they pull it off, but I'm probably going to predict them again because when I do my predictions, I'm going to mention it again. But I think the fact that it's in New Orleans at Yeoman, I think they can pull it off. I think they're going to it's going to be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes into overtime. But Tulane gets the win, wins another conference championship, and I think they get in the college football playoffs. That happens, they'll only be the 2nd team in the state to do it alongside LSU. Before I get to this bullshit talk, let me go ahead and wrap up the college talk with Around the Boot. This might be the last, maybe not the last time, actually. You might not hear it again until bowl season. But let's go ahead and talk what happened around the boot, courtesy of Boot Crew Media. Motherfucker, I had this shit updated. Shout out to them guys. I used to do content for them. Some teams have wrapped up. Well, now what we have left wrapped up. So let's start with the Bayou Classic, shall we? How? I mean, I get Grambling have us down to their 4th string, but you blow it to a team that was 1-10 going in that game. You lose the Bayou Classic. You probably lost the Battle of the Bands too, because I think the Human Jukebox did fantastic. Having Juvie singing for them while Glorilla sung with the Grambling band. Southern beats Grambling 28-27 in the Bayou Classic. They've now won 4 in a row. Southern closes out the regular season 2-10. Grambling closes out the regular season 7-5. Oh, and how about this? How about Marshall Falk coming back home, the new head coach for Southern? See, I was talking about new coaches. That's another one I forgot to mention. Marshall Falk is now the head coach of Southern's football team going into 2026. Ooh, you better watch them Jags, man. Get back.
Get back!
Get back!
Man, but hopefully, real talk, I think we can maybe turn that team around. Southeastern, I know I'll get to the FCS playoff talk in a bit. They got embarrassed in their own stadium. They fell to Illinois State 21-3. So now Southeastern season wraps up with a 9-4 record. I talked about UL Monroe falling to the Cajuns 30-27. They wrap up their season at 3-9. And Louisiana Tech gets the win on the road over Missouri State 42-30. They wrap up the season with a 7-5 record, and they're also going bowling as well. Louisiana Tech is bowl eligible. Oh, shit, man. Let me swig this before I get to my freaking rants here. I got 2 teams left in New Orleans to talk about. And I'm just going to go ahead and blow the whistle here.
Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
I am blowing the whistle here because we got to get new owner. Gail Bitsit, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with these 2 professional teams. I'm shocked we still got 2 pro teams in New Orleans the way these 2 are playing. I'll start with the New Orleans Saints because this one I'm going to light a fire in my ass on this one. They had the potential to beat the Miami Dolphins. They could have made a comeback, but they couldn't do it. You fall to Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins, 21-17.
You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here!
You had 294 total yards, 231 passing. Okay, fine. But what is up with your fucking rushing game. How many games? Is this, 4 games in a row you're under 100 yards? 81 total rushing yards against the Dolphins? It's not going to cover it. Like, no shit. This is maybe like the 3rd or 4th freaking game straight where they had under 100 total rushing yards. Well, maybe not. Carolina, they actually did. So make it 2 in a row. But probably in the last 5 or 6 games, they were probably Tampa Bay, I know they were under 100. The Rams, they were under 100. Falcons, Dolphins. I think maybe the Bears game, too. I think they were under 100 rushing yards. Holy crap, they were at 44 for the Bears. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Tyler Shuck, 26 for 38, 239 yards. He did throw 2 touchdown passes. Yeah, Chris Olave for 17 yards and Devon Vale for 15. 1 pick. But Devin Neal led in rushing. He only had 14 carries for 47 yards, dude. Devon Vale led in receiving 8 receptions for 93 yards, and he had a touchdown. Chris Olave had 4 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown. Then the defense, 66 total tackles, 34 solo, 4 sacks, and 7 tackles for a loss. It's that O-line, bro. This team is dog shit.
There is no passion, there is no vision, there is no aggression, there is no fucking mindset in this football club. Nothing is there. What the hell is there in this football club? Tell me now.
I'm speechless. Here's one more for you.
Fucking team, man. They fucking suck. I'm gonna hate fuck this shit out of you, ref.
It's just going to get worse. They're like, what? They're 2. I know they only got 2 wins all season. They're 2-10. They're already eliminated from playoff contention already. Now they got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next, which when they played them earlier this season, they lost to them 23-3. And they're trying to get their first win against Tampa Bay in 2 years. I don't see it happening. That's all I got for them. And for the New Orleans Pelicans, this is going to be a quickie because things ain't getting better for that team as well. Even Willie Green, this team ain't getting no better either. Last I saw, they were 3-19 right now. Let's see if anything changed. Now they're still 3-19. They've only played 3 games since last show, and all 3 were losses. They lost to the Warriors, 104-96 on, I think it was on Friday. They lost to them. No, that was on Saturday. They lost to them on Saturday, 104-96. Zion had 25 points, 8 for 16 in field goals, 9 for 10 in free throw shooting. And I feel like after that game, did he get hurt again? He also had 4 assists and 3 turnovers. He didn't play in the Lakers game. I don't think he played in the Timberwolves game. I didn't even watch that game. I didn't even watch none of this shit. Missy led in rebounds in that Warriors game with 10, and he had 9 points. Sadiq Bey also had 21 points and 7 rebounds. Jeremiah Fears had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers. They went to LA, lost to the Lakers 133-121 without Zion playing. Bryce McGowan's led in points with 23. He also had 5 assists, but he didn't lead in that. 2 for 4 in free throw shooting, 9 for 18 in field goals. Sadiq Bey led in rebounds with 11, plus he had 22 points. And Jeremiah Fears also had 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then last night, they took on the Timberwolves, and they lost in overtime. They should have won this game. They lost 149-142. Trey Murphy led in points with 33, and he led in rebounds with 15. He went a perfect 7 for 7 in free throw shooting. He was 11 for 21 in field goals. Derek Queen also had 6 assists, 2 turnovers, and 21 points. He led in assists. Jeremiah Fears had 21 points. Jose Alvarado had 14 with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. What's next for this team? Well, they got to play the Timberwolves again tomorrow night, this time in Smoothie King Center. They could beat them if they get their head out their ass. They go to Brooklyn Saturday. That's probably, I could see that being maybe be a win. Brooklyn's 5-16. They got to beat that team. Monday, they're probably going to be back on the loss train. They host the San Antonio Spurs, and they're hot. Yeah, they ain't beating Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Nope. I got nothing on the NBA Cup because I don't think they're going to be playing. I don't think they ain't got nothing coming up for that, I think. I'll see if I get a quick update on that because I think within a week they should be playing like the semifinals and whatnot. Hold up. Wait. I clicked on the wrong thing. Well, are they still doing cup play? I don't see no games. We'll skip. I don't think. And I updated it, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. Well, we'll go ahead and just recap happening in college football and the NFL real quick. While I get, let's go ahead. Let's recap rivalry week because rivalry week, you never know what you're going to expect. And we're going to make some predictions. Come fuck on. Here we go. So, we'll recap. Let's recap the FCS first and make some quick predictions for that. Like I said, Illinois State beat Southeastern. Matter of fact, I think I still got the bracket. I'll even pop the bracket up for y'all. I still got that up. Right here. Oh. I'll take the banner down so y'all can see at the bottom. But we'll go ahead and recap first week of the FCS. This shouldn't take too long. I ain't going to really break down nothing, and I'll make these predictions real quick. So you go back to the first round. I already mentioned about Southeastern falling to Illinois State 21-3. They move on to play North Dakota State. Good luck to that team. Yale beat Youngstown State in a comeback win, 43-42. I heard they were down like a lot, and they found a way to make a comeback. Big comeback for Yale. Villanova took out Harvard 52-7. Rhode Island beat Central Connecticut 27-19. Abilene Christian beat Lamar 38-20. North Dakota beat Tennessee Tech 31-6. South Dakota State beat New Hampshire 41-3. South Dakota beat Drake 38-17. And yeah, that's it. That's the bracket right there for the first round. All right, let's make quick predictions for this. I'm gonna run through these like hotcakes. I'm gonna kind of shuffle around. I'm gonna start on the bottom of the bracket. Villanova at Lehigh. Villanova's 10-2. Lehigh's 12-0. Give me Lehigh. Give me Lehigh to win that one. South Dakota and Mercer. Where do you see it on the bracket? Okay, there you see it right there. South Dakota and Mercer. This one can go either way, but I'm picking Mercer. I'm picking the aren't they the Bears? Picking Mercer. Illinois State, North Dakota State. Oh, the Bison's going to run them over. Bison moves on and remains undefeated. North Dakota at Tarleton State. Tarleton State shocked me lately. A little old small college in Stephenville, Texas, that jumped up from Division II is now 11-1 and couldn't make a deep run in the playoffs. Give me that Texan team. Give me Tarleton State. Yale and Montana State. They ain't going to make a comeback like that ever again. Give me the Bobcats over the Bulldogs. And same thing with this one. South Dakota State and Montana. Man, the Jackrabbits fell hard after last season. Grizzlies, they've been on a roll, but remember, they only had was against their rivals, Montana State, in the Brawl of the Wild. Very good game. But I think Montana bounces. They're going to win this one and move forward. Abilene Christian, Stephen F. Austin. I bet this is going to be fun to watch. Two teams, purple and white. One's the Wildcats in West Texas. One's the Lumberjacks in East Texas. Austin's 10-2. They're the conference champs in the Southland Conference. Abilene Christian, they're going to finish up 9-5. And then finally, Rhode Island at UC Davis. Rhode Island's 11-2. If we have an upset, I think UC Davis can upset Rhode Island, but I don't know here. I think everyone is going to potentially win. That's supposed to win. I don't know if we're going to get an upset in the second round, but if we do, it could be UC Davis over Rhode Island. I don't know much about them, but I'm gonna just say that I say they win. All right, I'm getting that out. Dude, it is storming outside. I'm shocked my shit didn't go off. I don't want it to go off. Don't jinx it, please. All right, I'm going to do some quick recaps of rivalry games. I'm going to run through the table here. Alabama State wins another one over Tuskegee in the Turkey Day Classic. Lane Kiffin finishes strong with his last game at Ole Miss, winning the Egg Bowl over Mississippi State, but not going to coach him in the playoffs. Georgia hanging by a thread over Georgia Tech. Iowa upsets Nebraska. Indiana handling Purdue. Texas A&M. Who's your daddy? Y'all doubted me wrong. I thought y'all had this locked in. You could have did us all a favor and keep Alabama out the fucking SEC championship. But no, you had to lose to Big Brother Longhorns, and I guess the horns are back up. Because I think from now on, when y'all play each other every year, I'm going to have to permanently pick Texas every year because y'all obviously can't beat them. Michigan, Ohio State, I knew it was coming. It was time. I would have loved if Ryan Day would have lost another one, but no, Ohio State had to get the last laugh, despite that call that should have been a touchback. But Ohio State handled Michigan. Oregon, Washington, man, that was an instant classic. I thought Washington had that one, but Oregon picked up the win. I should have picked Vanderbilt over Tennessee, man. I can't believe I picked against Diego Pavia like that. And will he come back and play another year of college football? Supposedly he's got another year of eligibility. I'd say fuck it. Let him play one more year. Man, I would love for Diego to play another year if they let him. What else happened? Washington State beat Oregon State the second meeting, so now they're both 1-1 in the Pac-12. Who do you give the Pac-12 title to? Are they going by a tiebreaker? Let me know that one. Oh, man, Auburn, you had that one in your hands, but you dropped it. You could have did everyone a favor and kept Alabama out of the SEC championship. But, oh, boy, that stumbled to try and get to the sidelines late in the fourth quarter, I knew he was going to drop the ball, like Ricky Williams. Alabama wins another Iron Bowl, and now they're back in the SEC championship. But they're on thin ice. They have to win. They have to beat Georgia if they want to get in the playoffs. Because if Georgia beats them, they're done. Other than that, USC handled UCLA, no problem. Illinois handled Northwestern, no problem. Notre Dame handled Stanford, no problem. Fresno State handled San Jose State, no problem. And Hawaii handled Wyoming, no problem. All right. By the way, I finished 24-13 in my picks. If Jason's watching, you finished 23-14. So I was one short. You were one short behind me. Go ahead and make some picks for conference. By the way, we'll make the picks for the conference championships, and then we're going to look at the bracket real quick and make a decision here. Because I don't know how the bracket's going to look, which conference champions they're going to put in. So let's go ahead and predict the conference championships real quick. By the way, 5 of these conference championship games are rematches from the regular season. This one is not. I said Tulane's going to beat North Texas to win the American Athletic since it's in New Orleans. That's one of the Friday matchups. So we also got Troy and James Madison playing for the Sun Belt Championship. This is not one of those rematches, by the way. But I think James Madison only had one loss all season. I'm going to see if I can pull these teams' records up before I give like an official, like who I think can pull this off. So James Madison's now the number 25 team in the country, and they're 11-1 while Troy's 8-4. It's in Harrisonburg. Give me the Dukes. Give me James Madison to win the Sun Belt. Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State in the Conference USA Championship. The Owls are 9-3. The Cocks are 8-4. But Jacksonville State beat them a few weeks back. They beat them 35-26 in a tight game. But I think Kennesaw bounces back and wins this one. Give me the Owls. UNLV and Boise State in the Mountain West. Where did this UNLV team come from? They're 10-2 in this game. Boise State is now 8-4. I mean, if they'd have still had Ashton Ginny, that'd have been a different story. Now, Boise State did beat them 56-31 this season, and I want to say it's in Boise. Yeah. So Vegas, yeah, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. They're going back to the blue turf, but I think they get redemption. Boise State will probably be a favorite because it's home field advantage. They're very loud up there in Boise, but supposedly I ain't been paying attention to this UNLV team, and they look like they got some talent, so I'm going to have to go with the Rebels to win over Boise State. And then your Saturday conference games, we're getting a rematch, BYU and Texas Tech. We saw what happened in Lubbock, 29-7 against the Cougars. This is a do-or-die situation for BYU because if they don't win, they are out the playoff picture. I'm going with Texas Tech. And if a Texas Tech wins, they get a first-round bye. Miami, Ohio, Western Michigan in the MAC championship. I don't watch MAC football a lot, but I think I'm going with Western Michigan. Western Michigan's 8-4. Miami, Ohio, 7-5. SEC championship. College game day is going to be there, and people are not happy because they're not going to Indiana, Ohio State, 1-2. No, they're going to follow Alabama to see where their fate is, because this is the last straw for Alabama. If they don't beat Georgia again, then they're not going to the playoffs. Bama did beat them in a struggle win. What was it, week 4? Week 5, they went to Athens and beat them 24-21. Bama's the favorite. Bama's 10-2. Georgia's 11-1. 3-9. This has got to be Georgia's chance to do us all a favor. Get Alabama out of the playoff picture. So, who's that coming down the track? The Mean Machine wearing red and black, because there ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. So, go Dogs, go Dogs, go Dogs, sick 'em, give me the Georgia Bulldogs. Fuck you, Alabama. Auburn should have beat y'all. Give me Georgia. Indiana, Ohio State. It's 1-2. It's the only 2 undefeated teams. Both are 12-0. But you want to know why they probably didn't go to this game, besides they did Ohio State a week ago? Because win or lose for either of these teams, nothing. You're only going to lose 2 things. You're going to lose your perfect season, and you're going to lose a chance to have a first-round bye. Win or lose for either team, they're in the playoffs. But if you lose, you get a home field playoff game. So you get to play in front of your home crowd one last time. So, I mean, you're not losing nothing here except a perfect record and a conference championship and a first-round bye. I mean, that's a lot to lose, but, I mean, it's not like, oh, you lose, you're out the playoff picture. No. But I'm excited. I'm actually excited to see this because I've been saying week after week after week, I think this Indiana team can beat Ohio State. Ohio State, I think they've only played, 3 ranked teams all season? They struggled with Texas, but beat them. Yeah, they beat Michigan while they were ranked. There was Illinois. They beat Illinois. That's the only ranked teams they played. I don't think Ohio State is as good as what people think. I think Indiana's a better team. By the way, Bloomington is 45 minutes away from Indianapolis. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of red, but I think there's going to be a lot of Hoosier red than that scarlet Ohio State red. I'm going with Indiana to take out the Ohio State Buckeyes. And then finally, the ACC championship game, Duke and Virginia. They played like 3 weeks ago. Virginia beat them 34-17. A win for Virginia could potentially put them in the college football playoffs. Duke just got in as like a Cinderella team. So that's the conference championship predictions. I'm going to pop bracket up as of right now. But here's top 25. The bracket is official. Where are you at? I just had it up. Here we go. There you look at it. Take a good look. I'm not going to run down the list. I'm just glad to see Houston's back in the top 25. James Madison's up there. A&M dropped a few spots, but still can make the playoffs. Oklahoma can still make playoffs. Where Alabama is, like I said, they have to beat Georgia or they're done. Same with BYU. They have to beat Texas Tech or they're done. But watch out. Let's say, I think the top 8 are safe. But watch out, even Notre Dame, but watch out for Miami, Texas, and Vanderbilt to sneak in there if BYU and or Alabama gets knocked out. There's going to be a lot of drama when they do that official reveal on Sunday. You know there's going to be some shit. All right, now here is where the bracket looks right now. Currently, we got 2 Big Ten. This is what it looks like right now. But like I said, this is going to change after the Big Ten championship. Ohio State and Indiana, only one's going to get that bye. The other one's going to fall in the first round. But if this were the playoffs right here, that 12th seed and that 11th seed will go to a conference champion. I'm going to go off a limb and say that 12th seed, I think, will go to Tulane, and the 11th seed will go to Virginia. Virginia will win the ACC and get that 11th spot. Tulane wins the American Athletic and get that 12th spot. If we get Tulane and Oregon, I think that's the end of the line for Tulane, and Oregon will go on and play Texas Tech. Either way, whoever Oregon plays as a conference champion, Oregon wins the game. If we get Alabama and Oklahoma, oh my God, would I love it if Oklahoma wins 3 in a row since they joined the SEC. But that's if Alabama can beat Georgia. But if this were to happen, holy crap, I would love a repeat. But they would find any way to get Alabama to advance to play Ohio State, a match we never wanted in the first place. If we got Virginia and Ole Miss, I'd give Ole Miss some slack and I think they could beat Virginia without Lane Kiffin. But if they would play Georgia again, oh man, Georgia would run them out the field. And if we get another Notre Dame Texas A&M matchup, they would find it in their heart to get a Notre Dame Indiana playoff rematch again like last year. But I feel like A&M, I would fucking love if Notre Dame would beat A&M. A&M don't impress me anymore. To be honest with you, they should have beat Texas, but they blew it. I don't know how you can cheer for A&M. They have no cheerleaders. You have all this hype you're in the playoffs, yeah, I get it, but you had all the hypes to be national champion contenders. You lose to your big brother, and what do they do to you?
Rip your heart out of your ass.
I've seen Aggie fans cry over the last week after that loss to Texas. I had to throw that in there. Well, let's wrap this show up with some NFL recap and predictions. I know we've just got done with the best week of football. Thanksgiving is always the great week. I should have called it when I said Lions can't win on Thanksgiving. That tradition continues. Packers beat the Lions. Cowboys, they beat the Chiefs. Are the Cowboys going to sneak in the playoffs? Or is this a better Cowboy team than we thought? Ravens, Bengals. I mean, Joe Burrow made the comeback, but I thought that game was trash. The Chicago Bears taking out the Eagles on Black Friday. Man, this Eagles team has fallen. That's now, 3 in a row for the Eagles? Texans take down the number 1 team in the AFC. We call that. Saints is trash. Browns are trash with Shadir Sanders at quarterback. Jags, Titans. I knew the Jags were going to win. I can't believe the Jets beat the Falcons. Falcons have went downhill too. Should I be worried when the Saints play the Jets? I know I wanted to go to that game, but I might have to reconsider. Seahawks handling the Vikings, no problem. Chargers handling the Raiders, no problem. The Bills handling the Steelers, no problem. Should they get rid of Aaron Rodgers and get a new QB? Should they get rid of Mike Tomlin? Broncos, Commanders, Sunday Night Football, that was a hell of a game. I'll give Marcus Mariota his flowers. But, man, Sean Payton and Bo Nix, man, that's the perfect combo right there. It reminds me of the good old days with Drew Brees and Sean Payton. Broncos got the win in overtime. Giants, Patriots, man, Giants are ass, bro. I know I love Jackson Dart. This team has fallen since Cam Scatterbo got hurt. Patriots are not skipping a beat. It's like Tom Brady all over again with them. But let's go ahead and wrap this up. Week 14 predictions. Let's go. Thursday Night Football. Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys, taking on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. I don't like this team, but you know what? I'm going to hop on the board and say the Cowboys win another one. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to throw up saying that, but I think they get the win. Then we got, oh, man. This team is washed. Saints and the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay wins big. Dolphins, Jets. This was a flip a coin for me, but I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. Steelers, Ravens. Give me the Ravens. Steelers are ass. Colts, Jags. Why do I get so upset when I hear the Jacksonville Jaguars all of a sudden? It's like I don't care for this team. I really don't. And I hope that the Colts beat the shit out of them. I'm going with the Colts. This is my toilet bowl of the week. The Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns. Titans have hit rock bottom. They're 1-11, but they're about to be 1-12. I'm going with Shadir Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. Give the Brownies a win at home. Commanders, Vikings. This is another one. It's going to be a dumpster fire. I'm going with the Washington Commanders. This is going to be another blowout ass whooping. I got the Seahawks over the Falcons. I hope they beat the shit out of them. Seahawk is better than a Falcon. You heard it, folks. Bengals, Bills, Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. This would have been my game of the week, but it's not. But I'm going with the Buffalo Bills at home against the Bengals. Broncos, Raiders. Why do I feel like this is going to be a close game? Broncos win it, but do they cover? I don't even know what the lineup is. I hope they win this. I'm going with the Denver Broncos. This is my game of the week because it's maybe the greatest rivalry in the NFL, and it's the oldest rivalry in the NFL. You got the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. The Bears have been rolling in the NFC North. Caleb Fingernail, Peyton S. Williams and company are doing something. Do they go to Lambeau in the freezing temperatures and get a win? Ken, if you're watching, I'm going to have to pick your Bears, man. I think they pull it off. You heard it. Rams and the Cardinals. As much as I despise the LA Rams, I would love for the Cardinals to pull it off, but I'm about to go with the Rams. They're red hot after they got beat up by the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, that was another shocker there, folks. Sunday Night Football, you heard it on mine. Texans, Chiefs. I said the Texans winning in a close one. I didn't even give a score prediction for the Saints. 44-3. You heard that one. Monday Night Football, Eagles, Chargers, Jalen Hurts versus Justin Herbert. You know what? The Eagles lose 4 in a row. Give me the Chargers. The Eagles are washed up. And so am I. I'm wrapping this up for the night. Thank you guys again for tuning in. If I had some internet issues, I am sorry. The weather's bad outside. But hey, I'm bringing some holiday cheer because it's the holiday season. Thank you all. God bless. I love each and every one of y'all. But like I said, you know where to find us. Driving to the Top Productions. Great people, great content. Be sure to give them a listen and a tune in. This was fun. I can't wait to do it again. Same time, same place. Next Wednesday night, 9 p.m. So that's on December 10th. I'll be back right here on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Give you some more talk. Might not have as much on football except mainly the NFL stuff and bowl announcements and everything, and the playoff picture. But thank you guys. God bless. I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Stay warm too, because it's cold as shit outside. But peace, love. Y'all have a good one.